All right, well, today's Colorado trivia is, when was the very first Denver Auto Show? The answer, in 1902. The very first Denver Auto Show took place in Civic Center Park. Fueling Colorado's fascination with cars has always been job one for the Denver Auto Show. It's the premier showcase for new cars, trucks, and trend-setting vehicles. Neat fact here, you guys. The Denver Auto Show is the largest new car display between Chicago and Los Angeles. And here with more is our friend Tim Jackson. He's the president of the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association. Nice to see you.
Good to see you, Denise.
My favorite time of year. So what was the oldest dealership still operating in Colorado?
You know, one of the oldest and most continuous running longest continuous running would be O'Meara Ford.
Oh, yes.
It's in its fourth generation of operator now with Evan O'Meara, and it actually started in 1913. So they celebrated their centennial, their 100th anniversary in 2013.
Wow.
So now, 102 years later, it's still operating.
Congratulations, our friends over at O'Meara. That's wonderful.
Yeah, they've had 4 locations.
Okay. And you know, I've been to the Denver Auto Show several times. I absolutely love it. For those who are watching, they've never been, what can they expect?
You know, it's really exciting, and I think you hit it on the nail on the head at the outset. It's a really exciting week.
Right.
I think it's one of the most exciting weeks for Denver because we have people that come out to the auto show every year. Some are in the market for a new car. Others are just shopping to see what's out there, latest trends, tools, tips, and techniques in the new car arena. So it's like 500 new cars in the same showroom, so you can walk car to car, brand to brand, without leaving the place. And most of them you can sit in, and some of them you can even drive. We have 9 ride and drives outside the auto show, and we'll also have Camp Jeep inside, which is an experiential event inside for families to be able to ride the Jeeps over high mountain type terrain.
I'm telling you, this is an event for the entire family. If you're looking for a car, or you just want to see a car like a McLaren or something that you've never had a chance to touch or sit behind the wheel, this is the place to go. What about some of the highlights in the past?
You know, well, some of the highlights, the show for a long time was operated in the Fillmore Auditorium, and when you think about that, the Fillmore, which at that time was the Monarch Auditorium, you're showing some of the original pictures there.
Right.
The Monarch Auditorium, we wouldn't even be able to fit the GM or the Ford display inside the Monarch or the Fillmore today. So in 1952, it moved out to the Coliseum when the Coliseum was finished. Then it moved downtown to Corrigan Hall in the 1970s. The current convention center wasn't opened until 1992, and it moved into the convention center then and expanded in 2005 when they doubled the size of the convention center, where it still lives today. And that's when it expanded to 400,000 square feet. So we'd take more square footage if we could get it, but we're limited to 400,000 square feet in the
quite a
Colorado
history.
Convention Center.
So Tim, we have some photos of this year, what people can expect. Just give us a sneak peek again. What are going to be the wow factors, you think?
You know, I think there's so many wow factors. The trends right now in automotive sales are up 80.2% over the last 5 years.
Good.
And that tracks 23% higher than the national total. And what you see on the screen is it's almost like a motorcycle, but it's a 3-wheeled vehicle with 2 of the wheels in the front.
I saw a man driving down I-25 in that the other day.
Yeah.
No kidding.
They're wildly popular, and you'll see a lot more of them on the road. Wear a helmet with those, by the way, because they really are in the motorcycle category as opposed to the automotive category. So you'll see basically every make and model that's available in showrooms today. Got a chuckle. There was a picture of you with Otto. Otto. This is the only auto show out of 100 in the country. We have our own mascots.
That's awesome.
Otto and Carlotta. We've had the mascots for about 7 years, and they're wildly popular with everybody, but especially the kids. So, you know, people will be able to see the Ferraris, the Maseratis, the Aston Martins, the Lamborghinis,
a lot of exotic
the
cars.
Lotuses, the Bentleys, and other exotic cars that are in the show.
Alternative cars like hybrids.
They're more and more manufacturers are coming out with a broader lineup of fuel-efficient cars. So those can be either in hybrids, plug-in hybrids, fully electric cars. We have the clean diesel, which is coming out in more and more models. And in fact, the Chevrolet Colorado, which just entered the marketplace in 2014, is in the Denver Auto Show with a new clean diesel version. It's not even on the road yet, so it's a pre-production model. And the Chevy Colorado is doing very well nationwide and in Colorado, so it'll be good to see the clean diesel version. There's more and more diesels. There's the Ram diesel and the Jeep Grand Cherokee clean diesel, and there's the Chevy Cruze clean diesel. So more and more manufacturers are coming out with clean diesels. Land Rover even has a Land Rover coming out with clean diesel. Oh, that's
nice. And earlier you mentioned interactive exhibits. Talk more about that.
Sure. In interactive exhibits, there will be the simulated driving machines. Two that I know of. There may be more. And there's a feature by the Clear the Air Foundation. That's a nonprofit foundation that takes old high-emitting cars off the road and replaces them with newer and cleaner cars, and provides auto tech students with scholarships. So they've got a display this year that's called Oh Heck Yeah. You may have heard of Oh Heck Yeah.
Heck Yeah.
And it's like an Xbox Kinect, where you actually move around on the floor of the show, and you're knocking out the high emitters and replacing them with newer, cleaner cars.
That is really cool. Well, don't go anywhere, because really the Denver Auto Show is so much fun, and it cruises into town April 8th through the 12th, and it's going to be at the Colorado Convention Center. Tickets and information are available online. You can go to denverautoshow.com.